If someone said you should model because you're very tall, you might earn some money to buy your lorry. I think within 6 months I'd moved to New York, and that was the end of my show jumping career. I'd never watched Top Gear.
Because you did really well on Reasonably Priced Car.
Went straight to the top of the board.
Gamer, horse rider, model, pub owner.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Some.
Master, maybe not.
Welcome to Talk Horse.
Our gallop through the highs and lows of the equestrian world.
I'm Pippa Funnell.
And I'm Tristan Phipps.
This is the last of our shortest specials to keep you company over the summer.
Absolutely. We are still here at Hickstead. We've had a fantastic few specials and we are live for the last one with a very special guest. We'll get into that later.
So, saddle up, join our equestrian community and let's talk horse. So, Tristan.
What a lovely few guests we've had.
Amazing, and still here in this beautiful house.
It is a beautiful house, I have to say. I think I might try and get this wood panelling for my home.
So, hopefully, with all the work you've been doing, one day you will be able to...
So keep listening to Talk Horse, and one day, maybe I can have wood panelling like this. Probably just about all I have, but that's a good start.
So what is going on in your celeb life?
My celeb.
Any more reality
the barrel.
TVs?
Yes, we've got a few projects coming up this year. I am off to film an abroad trip from Chelsea next week, so you're going to have to,
tune in again.
Don't get rid of me, please.
Where are you off to this time?
We're off to Thailand for a short little trip. 2 weeks I'm away filming for Chelsea.
With Jules?
With Jules, absolutely.
That's
I wouldn't go
good.
anywhere without Jules.
Don't have any scandal.
No. I've grown out of that.
Exactly. I think you should.
She's a keeper.
Good.
Definitely.
Good.
I'm punching as well, so you got to hold on to the good things in life. Right?
Exactly.
Just don't let her know that. Quite like to think I'm in the driving seat, but I'm not. So we've got that, and then in a few months' time, I'll be launching my adventures to South Africa. So I'm launching a first trip, which will be end of September, beginning of October.
And that's safari again?
Absolutely. So I'm trying to build a trip that really holds value to me. You know, the way I train to be a safari guide, I want people to experience that hands-on safari experience. So we're going to do some time with a really special rhino sanctuary called Care for Wild. So they take all the orphan rhinos from the Kruger National Park, so people experience what that's like to work with animals that have been poached, their families have been poached, and then to help that kind of rehabilitation process. And then we're going to go into eco training camp, which is where I learned to be a safari guide, completely off-grid, no running water or electricity, and people will have hands-on experience of what it's like to learn how to be a ranger.
And so you're being taught that, or you're...
No, I'm hosting that. So I was taught
right.
that. That was my job for 7 years, was hosting safaris and training guides.
And
so.
you're going to tell them how to get out of an awkward situation, like getting a Jeep stuck in...
Exactly, 4x4 handling, animal tracking, weapon handling, all the kind of sciencey bits, ornithology, botany.
So do you
geology.
know all the footprints?
I do, yeah. I know my tracks and signs are very good. I know I can tell your horse track quite easily. I can tell you the speed on which it's walking, whether it's direct registering, what time...
By the length of the stride.
The length of the stride
whether it's
over the back.
or running.
Exactly, that sort of thing. And that's something that I'm very pro about, is getting people educated before they go into these wilderness experiences. And then we're sleeping out in the bush. And then we've got a few nights in a luxury lodge.
Bugs I don't like.
There are a lot of those bugs out there. But it's the big things. Well, actually, it is the small things as well. It's the adventure, though. I love it. I mean, that's obviously, why you...
And there's quite a bit. There must be a bit of adrenaline that you never know what you might meet in the night.
Absolutely. And that's, for me, that's...
Or in the day.
Or in the day, yeah. Nighttime is the more dangerous time. Obviously, we've got awful vision and predators are out at night. But I love it. I live for it. And it's, really what I've wanted to do with my career. So it's a good step in the right direction.
And how many people would go?
Eight people. The legal size for walking in the bush is 8. So I think a smaller group's better. I want it to be a very kind of inclusive trip. I want people to connect, and I think a smaller group's better for that. So I'm excited for that.
Maybe I might go.
I think you should. I think the next one, maybe you and William come along. Could be quite a fun adventure.
Yeah, I would actually.
We could put a little horse riding safari section in there for you.
Well, we've been really lucky because we have, I think I might have said before, we have been on a horse riding safari, and I think there is an element, at least on a horse, you can get out of trouble.
A lot quicker than you would on 2 feet.
I know.
But also with horses, I think we mentioned it before.
Do you carry? You don't carry a gun.
I do carry a rifle,
You do carry a rifle.
It's a legal requirement. If I was by myself, I wouldn't. I see it as an insurance policy, as a heavy briefcase, really, because, at the end of the day, you shouldn't get yourself into that situation. But guess it's the same as wearing a helmet or a hat. You shouldn't need it, but if you should, then it's there. So it's an insurance policy. But, it's all about connecting with nature and being grounded. And I think walking is the best experience, the best way to do that.
Just have to be careful what you might tread on.
Yeah. Lots of things to worry about. But then you do ride horses very fast, very far, and jump very high things. So you should be used to it.
Yeah, but I'd still be frightened to run into a lion or an elephant.
Well, as long as you're quicker than your mate, you're fine.
Well, I'm not very quick.
Well, then you're buggered.
Exactly. So then you have to do that standing tall and go. Rah.
You've got to bring a friend who's slightly slower than you, and everything will be fine. But that's off the record. I'm not going to suggest doing that at safari. Tell me about your TV projects, though. Because we did a bit with Clip My Horse.
Yeah, we
TV.
did. So I've been involved with Clip My Horse they wanted to do a documentary on me, and they've headed it. The title is All About the Horses, which I think is great because to me it is all about the horses.
Not only Fools and Horses.
No, all about the horses. And it actually very kindly, I'm dedicating it to Mum. So it's, I think, over an hour long documentary where they came down to home and did a lot of filming at home. There's some amazing camera angles. They've done a super job. Quite a lot of
Pieces
a bit
camera.
like here, me talking probably far too much, and but basically explaining sort of my life and my beliefs and how I am with the horses and discussing me. And I know you actually feature.
I featured a little bit, a little cameo appearance
because they were with me.
Badminton.
At Badminton for 5 days, so followed me and very much sort of seeing my, the side of my life and what I'm going to hopefully be up to going forward. And I know they interviewed you, and
I said some lovely things about you. Don't worry, I'm sure you haven't seen it yet.
I have actually.
Have you?
I literally saw it last week. It's being released sometime over the next month.
Amazing.
And yeah, I mean. I feel very, very honoured to be asked, and hopefully, again, it's a way of putting across and any listeners out there, if you want to hear a bit more about my life or the way I look into how I am with the horses, I hope people will watch that because, as I say, going forward, it's so important to me that people see that the majority, but my whole world with horses is absolutely, as I've said many times, it's the friendship that I build up with the horses and the partnerships. And I really get so upset when I hear the minority that just do things that are really wrong by the horse, and it upsets me so much. And I just feel it's so important that people know that actually the majority aren't like that.
Yeah,
and there's no place for that. And I know we've covered that before, but so the title to me is very important because for me it is all about the horses. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully
exciting
people
time.
watch it and yeah,
I'm sure they will. And it's funny. So we obviously, when we started this podcast, we had a chat about how, maybe obviously you're not fully, stopping riding and stuff, but you were changing careers and you kind of this media element. We're doing the podcast, and I got a documentary, and actually quite relevant to our next guest, who we'll chat about soon. But how have you found this new little venture and this jaunt into the TV media podcast world? Are you enjoying it?
Well, I mean, it's certainly different. I think I loved what Alan Titchmarsh said at Windsor, and it really has stuck in my head about that sort of, you have a goal, or you have that doorway at the end of a corridor, and you sometimes don't notice all the doorways leading off to the side, and I've always been one that's been open-minded to maybe take on new things, and yes, thanks to you, Tristan, thanks to Charlotte, who produces, and this talk horse side I've absolutely loved, and yeah, it's not that I want a camera on me, because I actually don't like having a camera on me, but I actually do want to be able to put the message out there, or whether it's helping educate or just saying, and I love putting people out there like Chris the horse dentist, Sam the farrier.
Yeah.
I think it's so
All
massive,
the aspects of this world,
the equestrian world, and how important the horses are to so many people.
Yeah. And I think you're doing a very, very fantastic job at it. It's clear to see from...
You're helping.
A pleasure to help, but I think it's clear to see the amount of comments we have and people, the insights that you give into this world, and that we can kind of educate and you inspire. I think it's it's exactly what you wanted to do. So I think we should keep going. Series 2 coming very soon. But talking about multifaceted,
keep tuned in, guys.
Please keep listening, because we can keep coming to these beautiful houses at these amazing shows and recording the podcast. But talking of multifaceted careers, that leads us quite nicely onto our guest today, who, would you like to introduce her?
I think she's an excellent guest because her family is very, very closely linked with the Bunn families, so with Hickstead, so you've got a real good connection. And many of our listeners won't know the equestrian connection, but our guest today is going to be Jodie Kidd.
Absolutely. She's best known as a model, TV presenter, racing driver, but obviously at her core, she is a horsewoman. So we're very excited to talk horse
with Jodie Kidd. Jodie.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to Talk Horse. And I've just introduced you very appropriately because here we are in this amazing house, Hickstead Place, Derby Day. You're here for the Derby.
I am.
And we think you were a perfect guest to have on this episode because of your close connection with the Bunn family.
Yeah.
But before we go there, Tristan's going to ask the question that we ask everyone.
We always start with. Absolutely.
Yep.
I think there's so much to dive into for this one. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Before we get into everything, your career, your connection with Hicks and stuff, this is obviously Talk Horse. Where did that passion and that connection for horses in the equestrian world start?
It was just ingrained as a small child. My father was, show jumping for the British team. My grandmother was an amazing carriage driver, horse breeder. And so I just had no choice but to love horses. And actually my love of horses started a bit later. So I was about 9 when I fell in love, and then literally from that moment onwards never got off the back of a horse. But I was not into it. Like my brother and sister started very, very young. My brother went on and represented England in polo, my sister in dressage. So we're, every single person in my family are kind of born on the back of a horse. So I had no choice.
That was it.
That was it.
Very high achieving family, clearly. We've heard that before, born on the back of a horse.
Because I think, where was your family home, Ewhurst? Or
Yes.
was that, because Ewhurst is literally the next door village from Forest Green.
I know.
That's where Dad and Mum lived.
Absolutely.
Were you born at Ewhurst? No.
I was born at Ewhurst, the longest baby ever born at Mount Alvernia, apparently.
The longest time or the longest length?
The longest length. I don't know where that came from. So that's home. So that's where my grandmother, Janet Kidd, lived. She lived in Slidehurst after they moved from the West Country. And so Dad had a house there as well. And that was pretty much the first half of my life was Ewhurst, just down the road.
And was it the connection with Dad show jumping on the British teams and Douglas Bunn? Is that where the connection with the Bunns first started?
It was my grandmother. My grandmother and Dougie were very, very close. And my grandmother was very instrumental in the first ever Hickstead. She got the first sponsor. I believe that she was also had something to do with buying all the first jumps. So she was very, very, very close to Douglas, and then Dad and Douglas became best friends. And then my mum is Chloe's godmum. I mean, this is how twisted.
The family trees are so difficult to keep like this.
So my mum is Chloe's godmum. Douglas was my godfather. Chloe is godmum to my son. I'm godmother. I mean, it's entwined. We're basically like the same family.
Amazing.
So I've been brought up in this house.
What a beautiful house
this
you've
is
got.
this is home.
And you are now director.
Third generation director.
Director of England.
Yes.
Show jumping.
I know. So excited. So obviously my grandmother started as one of the first directors. Then it went on to my dad. And I took that on last year, that amazing role. So it's just a great honour. And the ties for the Kidd family and the Bunn family in Hickstead, run very, very deep.
So a very busy week for you then.
It's a great week. Well,
How are we feeling now?
I've been filming all week for this new lovely ITV show. So this is my first day, but at least I'm here for Derby
Well,
Day.
hopefully you can enjoy a little bit of it.
Yes.
We're chatting to Lizzie and she was
Absolutely.
so much going on.
Yeah.
It's important just to breathe and enjoy the moment sometimes.
Exactly.
Let's rewind a little bit. So started riding at 9, went down a show jumping route originally, and then modelling kind of
Yes.
reared its head.
Yes.
And at this point you are show jumping, you're kind of taking it quite seriously. It's something that you're pursuing.
It's what I wanted to do, absolutely. And the only reason I started modelling was because I was just going, because I did all the 138s and then I did 13.2s, 14.2s, all the kind of Christy Beaufort level. And then I was 15 and had to go into horses. So I just got my first youngster, but I had a pony lorry and he kept on rubbing his tail and I needed to get a bigger lorry and we couldn't afford one. So Mum said to me, you're very kind of weird looking and kind of, someone said you should model because you're very tall. You might earn some money to buy your lorry. So I thought, oh, God, and I was living actually out in the West Country at this time. And I went down to London to see if I could, get a job or two to get my lorry. And then I think within 6 months I'd moved to New York and that was the end of my show jumping career, very, very sadly.
To buy a lorry, it's worked out pretty well for you.
Yeah.
Can I just say to anyone that's not watching, but if I was to stand next to Jodie, her legs are longer than my body.
Yeah, very tall. And that was one of the things, because we always kept on knocking the fences down with our legs. So we had to kind of hoik our stirrups up so we looked like little jockeys. Or we had to do the famous flick out. So anyway, I was very sad, but I then kind of got back to horses.
So did that take you away? Was there a moment where you thought, which way do I want to go?
I had to sell the youngster, everything. It was a disaster. But I mean, it wasn't a disaster because I was just riding this amazing kind of huge tidal wave of the modelling and having a wonderful, successful career. And just, for 10 years, it was amazing, a real eye-opener.
So then at that point, you wanted to pursue show jumping as possibly a career. Was that a turning point where then the horses became kind of a safe place and a place of relaxation?
No, we kind of got rid of them. And I literally didn't ride a horse at all for years. I didn't have enough time. I was literally in Japan one day. I was in New York the other day. I was flying Concords here. I mean, it was a really massive whirlwind. And I hardly spent any time in the UK at all. So I just lost touch of horses. And then I started really suffering, I think, because of that. And I started getting anxiety and just, having a very wholesome country life and then suddenly being thrust into the world of, high fashion and living in cities. And it just is just not for me. And so my body was just going,
How did you deal with that? Because it's a very big change from living that country life to kind of living this crazy...
it was amazing. And I was just riding this wave of, as I said, but it was pretty full on. And I think I like to see trees and space and be grounded and grow our own veg and do all of these things. And suddenly I'm like living in hotel rooms in New York and incredible. But I just, after 10 years, I just said, I can't, this is not the life for me. Yeah. And I kind of stepped off the catwalk, stepped back from the career.
Into a different career.
Yeah, a different career. Well, I didn't know what I wanted to do because I was just in a kerfuddle and I was getting anxiety and I wasn't sleeping and it was just awful. So I moved back out to the countryside and horses really healed that. And the only access I had to a horse at that time was my brother, who was a polo player. So I started going and just warming up his horses. And then he gave me a stick and he was like, why don't you have a little stick and ball? And then that was it. Within 2 years, I was representing England. I had 22 ponies. I was like,
That's a big. Don't do things in half measures, do you, Jodie?
I know.
Straight in.
Had you played
No.
polo before that?
No, because, you know, we ride properly. Polo players.
One hand.
You know,
Well,
we're always
it's
looked down
do it
at
properly.
polo players.
It's really interesting because we had
Hazel,
we had Rosie Tapner
Yeah.
on here, who obviously was a
love
model,
Rosie.
and we've also had Hazel Jackson from
Yes,
Polos.
I've
Really
played
interesting.
lots of times with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I don't think, because I won the Women's World Championships,
Oh, wow.
and I don't think Hazel was on my team. But she was either brilliant to have on your team or very hard to play against.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's strong. Yeah.
She's achieving some amazing things.
And do you play polo still?
No. I think when I had Indy and I kind of hit my late 30s.
And Indy's how
my
old now?
13.
Gosh,
I know. It happened so quick. And then next thing I know, I'm kind of racing cars. I don't even know how.
Yeah, I would love to know how
How did you get into racing cars?
So it was just, life is very odd with me, and I'll just literally sit next to someone and they'll go, oh, I do this. And I'll go, God, I'm
wanna do
really
that.
fascinated about that. And then next thing I'm a racing car driver. But no, it was all, it was all just the universe kind of all just going.
Is that kind of your,
do this.
is that because you're kind of, because you, as I said, you don't really do things in half measures, it seems, but
No,
is that because you
fully
kind of
immersed.
love that adrenaline, or is it you just want to commit to something? Or
I just wanted several more horsepower, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I
Faster.
got to a point in polo where I either had to turn professional or I didn't have enough money to be a patron. So I was kind of in this moment where I either had to fully go in, and it's a really tough industry to be a British, kind of professional, unless you're Argentine. It's with a European passport. It's a really tough world, and so I just kind of went. I love it. I adore it. I've got the England shirt. I've won the Women's World Championships. Tick, tick, tick. I think I'll lay that to bed now.
changing from kind of the show jumping background, riding two hands to
It's
to
a
one.
lot easier.
Is it? Yeah.
It's a lot easier.
What,
yeah.
show jumping?
No, polo.
About to say.
I'm intrigued.
The
Always intrigued by
horses
that.
are, you're dealing with ponies, really. They're all quite small and they're trained.
Do you need roller skates on your feet?
Yeah,
Because your
exactly. I
legs are
didn't
so
have
long.
any. I didn't have any worry about knocking fences down.
You could nearly kick the polo.
Yeah,
balls,
exactly.
couldn't you, with your-
Exactly. The six-legged horse. It's a lot easier. It's literally just either flat out gallop, stop, turn, flat out gallop, stop, turn. So, show jumping is a whole different level of riding, kind of expertise. Sorry, polo players out there.
No shame.
Do you have any horses now? Or?
I've got two retired horses. So I saved an ex-race horse from the ROR, and he's just getting very fat and happy and having a gorgeous retirement. And then I've got a little fluffy pony from Chloe that she gave Indy as a kid, and of course he's football, doesn't want to sit on the back of a horse. He hasn't got it yet. So it's lovely. So I've got them, we look after them, but yeah, the riding's a bit on the, I think I've got a bit, I've lost my nerve
Well,
a bit.
listen, I know you're very, very friendly with Chloe, and there are plenty of horses here.
She just puts me on the lunatic ones and then takes me down to the runway, and then they bolt and then they buck and then I fall off and then I'm never riding with you again.
Jodie,
she does it on purpose.
How many times have you said that? Every time.
You know where we live.
Yeah.
You know the
I'll come
beautiful
ride.
Holby Hill.
Yes.
And you can ride with this old girl, and I've got plenty of lovely.
I need all
steady
lovely
ones, and
schoolmasters rather than these
they give you a night,
lunatic stallions up that Shane's got.
We're going to get him riding at some stage.
For Pip's entertainment, I think, rather than for my education.
Okay, well we can do it together.
Yeah.
In an indoor
You're
arena.
going to show me up twice.
on a lead rein.
I actually really want to come and have that lesson. I'm going to hold
I'm
you to
putting
that.
you in a lunch pen, not in an
Yeah,
indoor.
I'll come and do it with you.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Everyone's entertainment will have to film it. I'll probably fall off. Last time I was on a horse, I fell off and broke 2 ribs. So
Yeah.
I was playing polo.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
the high
it
and
happens.
the highest and lowest point of my.
You get to a point where you don't bounce anymore.
Well, I've got to that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
I even it's not just bouncing. I only have to jump off a horse without even falling.
And the ankle's gone. And
Everything, it goes up. I get brain shake every time.
Yeah.
I get a horse. I'd rather now get off onto a high mountain.
Yeah.
I don't just have to get on for it. And I have
Mountain
to,
block,
I have to get off.
I mean, I get it.
I'd love to know how you kind of got into racing. I mean,
It was through, I did a rally, a kind of mad car rally.
for having not really driven like that
No,
before? Or?
no, never raced. I hardly had my driving license. I think I got a couple of years before.
Had my provisional, got into a rally.
Yeah, and then I flew back to the UK. We were going from New York to LA, and I was just in the back of a car, and it was a gumball rally, and loads of friends were doing it. And there were some amazing cars. Anyway, so I had to fly back to the UK to do the GQ Awards, and I sat on a table with Jeremy Clarkson. And I went,
fun.
"Oh my God, you're the car man." I said, "I've just done this," and da-da-da. And he was like, "Wow, it's unusual that women talk about cars as enthusiastically as you do. Why don't you come on my show?" And I was like, I'd never watched Top Gear.
Because you did really well on a reasonably priced car.
Went straight to
You
the
went straight
top
to
of
the top.
the board. And I'd never raced. I'd never.
And then it was
been around a
Simon
track.
Cowell that beat you.
I think it was Simon, yeah, but he trained.
We're gonna need
apparently.
I think we're going to need to have
Apparently
another.
He's got a go-kart track at his house.
Of course he does.
Yeah. So
You
that's
weren't the
my
Stig
excuse.
then.
You might have been a Stig.
No, she's still
Too tall. Yeah,
tall.
too tall to be a Stig.
Yeah, so that kind of just opened this whole new automotive love world that I'm still very much involved in,
Yeah.
which is amazing. I love it.
And you, am I right in saying did you do Strictly Come Dancing?
Oh, God. Out of all the things I've done, you had to bring up that. I think it was the worst experience of my life.
You are actually our second guest from Strictly Come Dancing.
Really?
We had the legend that is Angela Rippin.
We did.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and
How does she do that?
The leg kick.
The leg.
I've tried it in my bedroom. I wouldn't. It's not.
I mean, I'd dislocate my hip.
Well, you'd
There's a lot
also
of
put
leg.
a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah.
I mean, Angela was what 70.
She's
No,
amazing.
eight-
I don't
I
know.
think that's unbelievable.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's a serious woman.
Yeah, but she could dance. I can't.
Had you danced much before that?
No. No, I kind of grew
Just
up
after
with,
a few drinks
with
and a
trance
disco.
music.
Yeah.
Do that.
Bit of two-step in the. Yeah, that's my kind of move.
I'm not like, oh my God, no.
How did you find the
Viennese
experience?
waltz,
That must be
no.
absolutely terrifying.
It was awful. I
Yeah.
never, ever, I've got PTSD from it.
Would you ever
honestly.
dance again like that?
No,
No, absolutely not. One and done.
never, ever. I mean, it was, I mean, there's about 18 to 20 million people
It's a
watching you
huge
live.
show. I think it's the biggest show in the
I mean,
UK.
yeah, but I did it. Oh, I did it with
Were you
lovely
did you get
Bruce.
very nervous?
Horrendous nerves.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Like in front of a live audience, in front of live millions of people. And I'm just, when you're not good at something, it's not the nicest experience.
Jodie's going, bring out the horse, bring out the car.
Yeah,
Give me that.
anything. And then the fear takes over, and then you're literally, and I'm going, you just forget everything. I had a bit of that, I think, when you're about to go in for a jump off. And the adrenaline kicks in, and then you suddenly go, "Oh my God, what's the course? I forgot the course." I mean, even though you know the course really well, but it's kind of like, and I would go, "I don't know what I'm dancing. Am I dancing the cha-cha-cha, or am I doing this?" And I know, oh God, the fear, terrifying.
Well, clearly you're not adverse to taking
Did you
risks
ever
and
get
trying
nervous
things.
going down a catwalk, thinking, "Oh my
That
God,
sounds
what
terrifying.
if I
Yeah.
trip
Fall over, yeah.
And some of the outfits you
I mean,
had to
it's
wear.
just. I mean, I'm just walking.
Yeah, but it's not just walking, is it? It looks. I mean, I've tried.
is
It's hard to
just
get
kind
high
of
heels in size
walking.
12, but I've tried doing the walk, and it's.
What?
I actually did a catwalk once
with heels?"
with heels. Yeah, for a charity fashion
What?
show.
With
I
heels?
don't really want to talk about it. It is hard. It is hard to get them in size 12.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I'm so
very
Googling
good.
this
How you do it? Yeah, I'll dig out the footage one day. I'm not going to show you, Pip.
It's I find yes, but big shows, and I've done a few of
biggest
those. It's more exciting. It's more like rather than total and utter fear, which
okay.
Strictly was.
It's exhilarating versus terrifying.
Yeah, and it is a walk, so you can just slow everything down. You don't have to do the Naomi hips. You can just go
I would
Naomi
like
hips.
to do
I'll show you that one
Strictly
later.
Dancing.
sneak hips.
I think we should get you on Strictly.
No,
Oh my God, you'll be
BBC
brilliant.
producers, if you're watching.
Yes.
I'd have to
I know
do
who
a
to
dance
speak
to
to.
Nelly the elephant.
What's the Black Beauty theme tune?
No,
Coming out of that.
elephant stomping.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Oh my
please.
God, I'm so putting your name forward.
That's so good.
No,
We have to make that happen.
Steph.
Because
I would love
and
that.
then
I think it'd be
actually
perfect.
the reality thing, if I did anything, because I know you've done this as well, is haven't you been
MasterChef.
on
Pretty much.
MasterChef?
Yes.
Why I bought that's my dream show.
That's why I bought my local pub, was because of that.
Because you
I
love
fell
food?
in love with food.
Amazing.
And like,
I'm in love with food,
Yeah,
but I don't
mean,
necessarily cook it.
but I use food as, I mean, as a model, obviously didn't eat anything but a lettuce leaf. Then when I was doing kind of all the challenges and mountain climbing and riding horses and things, I just ate it for fuel.
Yeah.
And then suddenly being introduced to food that was it just an amazing journey you could go on, and textures and flavors,
so cathartic though as well.
and it just really opened my eyes to the incredible world of hospitality.
How good are you at pouring a pint? Can you?
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing it 8 years now.
Oh. Did you?
I did. For 2 years, I went, right, I just don't want to be another kind of celebrity pub owner. I just thought, right, I really want to understand this industry. And so, yeah, I literally gave up everything. And for 2 years, I was doing P&Ls, I was on pot wash, I was on the pass, I was changing barrels. It was as I do fully immerse myself, like totally need to understand it, and loved it. When the first check comes through, the buzz, it's great.
Or what other projects have you got?
Oh my God, too many. I've got this little techie company. I'm doing.
Word.
I know, just doing lots of things.
Are you
Spinning.
a techie person then?
Yeah, I was. I used to build my own gaming PCs.
I mean, what haven't you done, Jodie?
Yeah, so that was my
You
first.
just build your own gaming PCs?
Yeah.
Wow.
And water cool them and things like that many years ago. So I love, and then used to be like a little gamer, Counter-Strike and all that. And
So gamer, horse rider, model, pub
Cook.
owner,
so I'm
dancer.
kind of like,
We're putting that in there.
yeah, the jack
Bracer.
of all trades, master of none. Some. Master, maybe not.
Obviously, you've got a very exciting journey ahead of you, kind of with the show jumping board. So what was so you're on the board of the
Director, yeah.
Director
Third
of
generation.
Third generation.
Third
director.
generation director.
Got to add that there.
Yes.
With your platform, how do we best promote kind of the growth of the equestrian world, doing it correctly and connecting with the youth and kind of getting people to be involved in this?
Well, I mean, when my dad used to jump, show jumping was one of the biggest sports probably in the world. I mean, they used to get millions and millions and millions of people watching it on TV, and huge support, and it's kind of dwindled over the years. So, I think it's a really good time now to get eyes back on, and especially what Hickstead has done and the investment that they put into the arenas, the quality of jumpers that are coming over here. Getting more sponsorship is key. So, getting the prize money up, and, just getting a real excitement around show jumping again. There are some fantastic characters. There is huge success for, Team GB, and we need to be really championing that and almost riding on the coattails of us amazing equestrians that are flying the flag high around the world. And, you've got some of the most iconic show jumping places in the world here. Hickstead being number one, of course. I just think it's just the most wonderful day out, whether you're an equestrian lover or not. I brought a couple of people down last year for potential sponsorship roles that had never, they'd been to Ascot, but they'd never seen show jumping. They had the best day. It's so much fun. It's just energetic. It's quite easy to follow. It's not like watching polo. I've played for years. I still have no idea what's going on. And it's all in front of you. It's really dynamic. It's exciting. At Hickstead, you've got everything from, wonderful hospitality to all the shopping to, it's a really great family day out. So it's just trying to get people here to go, this is an option. You don't necessarily have to have a pony or a horse or be involved to have a really wonderful day out. And I think the more people come, the more sponsors will come. And, you know, we just need more eyes and excitement around wonderful events like the Derby that's happening today.
And I would second that, you know, whether it's Hickstead, Windsor where you've been, Badminton. I mean, the venues that
Best.
you
Stunning.
go to,
Amazing.
whether it be
Best in the world.
Windsor Castle,
Yeah.
Badminton, the Estate, Blenheim,
Yeah.
Palace. I mean, we are so lucky.
Yeah.
And to me, there's so much that horses have to offer. As you say, people might not be in a situation that they can necessarily afford or have the facilities or whatever, but there are so many options. And for kids out there, and we said it before, we keep saying it again, you know, families, day out, healthy, countryside, away from screens. It has to be good.
I had to kick my boy. I should start that again. I had to drag
Kick him
him
really hard.
No, he was like, "Oh, Mum, do I have to go to Hickstead?" And he would love 13-year-old. All he wants to do is fortnight, and it's like, and I know as soon as you get them here, they'll have the best time. And also something that's really lovely is, you know, seeing the best Olympians are approachable. You know, the guys are all walking around, you know, the competitors, you can go up, you can ask questions.
They've got MBEs and gold
You
medals.
can, so exactly. And isn't that amazing? You've got gold medalists just walking around and you could just go, I'm really interested. How do I do, you know, and they're everyone in the equestrian world is so approachable.
So humble, so passionate.
So gorgeous, and only would, you know, so it's lovely seeing everyone all milling together, all just, you know, all here for the love of a wonderful day out, and the horse, of course. Horse, of course.
That was good.
Horse, of course.
New podcast.
So I just want to get more people to have a beautiful day out, and, you know, and help us celebrate the wonderful thing of that is the horse.
Amen. Jodie, just before we finish, we always like to give a little takeaway to our listeners on Talk Horse. Obviously, you've had an incredibly diverse and dynamic career in all sorts of worlds, not necessarily specific to horses, but what piece of advice would you give to anyone listening at home who either, you know, has a passion they want to pursue or doesn't know what they want to do, and you know, it could be equestrian, could not be?
I mean, I think is you've just got to not stop. You know, when I first went into motor racing, being the only woman, you know, there were so many things against me. I've always done very male kind of dominated sports, and you've just got to keep going. You will get bashed down. You will have moments where you just do not want to get out of bed and you just don't see any point in doing it, but you've got to keep the drive and keep going, because if you just have a projection of where you want to get to, as long as it's realistic, it's achievable. But you've just got to take those down moments and just will yourself on to keep going, and you will get there.
I think that's such a good message, because people can see you and what you've achieved. They can see top riders, what they've achieved, but actually what they have to realise is there have been so many knocks along the way, and it's a constant battle that goes on in your head of overcoming the
peaks and troughs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think thank you. That's a gem, that message. So, Jodie, it's been a real
Absolute
for
pleasure.
having
Thank you
me.
so much,
privilege.
Jodie.
Thank you.
Should we go and have a glass of champagne now?
Let's.
Or two.
Before we go for the champagne, thanks guys for listening, and hope you've enjoyed the episode from Hickstead Place.
Bye for now.
Bye.